Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, and I'm very proud of myself because I remembered to turn on my earphone monitors before recording. I mean, literally like the last 100 videos, the audio technically starts with, hey guys, Deathletter, dang it! Then I go into the Realtek program and I reconfigure it. Anyway, I've been getting a lot of comments. I've seen this on social media. I've seen it in my comment section. A lot of people are saying, why don't they either permanently or temporarily add Modern Horizons as a set to Arena? You know, even just for like a week for like an event, like a pre-release event, considering that is what they're doing in paper. And everybody says, oh, no, terrible idea. And then other people are like, yeah, but why? It's a lovely idea. I'd love to do it. You're wrong. And then everybody's butting heads over it. Well, the truth is not quite as simplistic as yes or no. Like, should they do it, yes or no? Well, I mean, the answer is no, they should not do it. But the reasoning behind why they shouldn't do it is a little bit more complex. So I thought I'll just break it down because a lot of you find these kind of videos interesting. Also, thumbs up for Red Alert 2 gameplay. It only took me 5 hours to get my VM to run the damn thing properly, and I had to hack the executables and change the INI files and then download aftermarket patches, and yeah, that was fun. But when somebody sends me a super chat saying, put Red Alert 2 in the background, I'm like, let's do it. Plus, when I set my mind to something and I get really stubborn, I'm like, I'm gonna get this damn game to work. I don't care. I stayed up till 5 in the morning. Now, you're gonna watch the Allied campaign, and you're gonna frickin' enjoy it. Oh, also, the name Deathletter is from Red Alert 2, by the way. Like, that's what I personally named my username after. Modern Horizons in Arena. I don't think anybody's saying add it and then leave it, unless it's going to be like block constructed, where it's constructed but you're constrained to only using that, which, okay, that'd be cool, but whatever. I mean, I think there's enough gameplay formats, and they have the amount of players that they could fragment it like that. They could have 12 gameplay types. Like, they could add Brawl, they could add all kinds of stuff, and they would have enough people queuing up 24/7 to actually, like, complete games and find opponents. So the fragmentation and the queue size is not the issue. And really, neither is the artwork. You just put it in. I mean, the card art, you literally just import the card art, put it in the border, and there you go. It goes on the 3D object. It's simple. Now, the 3D animations, when you drop in a mythic, those are very in-depth and expensive, like staff-wise and hours-wise and effort-wise to get done, but they could just skip it all. I mean, skip the voice acting, skip sound effects, or just get some basic stock sound effects, whatever, and just kind of bare minimum it. I don't think people would even necessarily notice. And if they did, they'd understand, because it's not standard. You don't put all the same effort into something that isn't the main core product of Arena. So let's say, okay, the sound, the graphics, the images, the 3D, that's all not a big issue. Now let's talk about the card logic. Oh my gosh, like, have you read some of the change logs and known error logs and problem logs or whatever for MTGO? That crap's been out for, what, 10 years at least, I would think. I don't really know when it came out, but I assume it's been a while. And they're still like, this card doesn't work correctly, this option doesn't work correctly, this mechanic doesn't work correctly, but we're working on it. And like, they've been working on it for like 10 years. And they're still finding cards that don't work because remember, that crap goes all the way back to the beginning. You know, there's all kinds of formats on MTGO. So, you know, you can have alpha and beta cards in there. So you get weird, obscure cards, and somebody finally puts it into the deck for the first time in 10 years, and then they're like, oh, I reported it, doesn't work properly. So adding card logic for every card that exists in all of Magic is so difficult that even with full staff time, budget, experience, everything, you know, it launched a million years ago, take all that into consideration, it's still too hard to get right. But in this case, you wouldn't be adding every card that exists, you would only be adding just the 256 cards in this set, if you included the buy box promo. And then you've got like simple basic vanilla stuff, you got filler stuff, then once you program in how Changeling works, then it works for all the Changelings, and some of the card logic is just evergreen abilities. Here's a 3/3 with double strike. Well, they already have double strike in the game, so maybe 75% of them right off the bat they already have the code for. So, you know, you write the code for 60, 70 cards and there you go. The problem is the order of operations and everything and how it works and zones and targeting and references to things that have never been in the game so they didn't have to be part of the engine. That would be a tough 60 or 70 cards. And, I mean, people have said, oh, I want Ultimate Masters in because it was fun to draft and I want to draft it digitally. Or I want to do block constructed with it, that would be fun, add it to Arena. I mean, okay, maybe it's doable because they tend to centralize the themes and target certain blocks, so it'd just be like maybe reprogramming parts of those blocks, and then they already could kind of copy the logic from MTGO, maybe. Not like copy and paste, but just look at the code and rewrite it so it works in Arena, basically. But compared to UMA, Modern Horizons, I would dare say, would be the most difficult set to program into Arena out of any set that's ever been released in the history of the game, not counting the unsets, because, oh my gosh, can you imagine that? Like, how do you high-five somebody? How does that happen? How do you target another game that you're looking at from where you're sitting? But within the actual rules of Magic, they just about did one of each for these keywords. Oh my gosh. There's like one card that does like dredge or whatever. There's like one card that does threshold. So there's so much one of, and they're so unique in how they function. It would just be a nightmare to put it in. But let's say, okay, people want it. They get past it, they put in the staff hours, they make the keywords work, they make the mechanics work, they just copy the logic from MTGO and they make it work within a reasonable amount of time for a reasonable budget. Well, now they just did something, they spent money, they spent staff time. How do they get the money back out of it? And y'all know how Arena works. I mean, you open packs, you get cards, you get wild cards, you redeem them, and you build decks. And I'm used to lately having virtually limitless wild cards, and I'm sitting on like 11 rares and 11 mythics, but it feels like limitless because one, I have like 200 uncommons, and two, I've been doing the dailies for like 6 months straight or whatever. Starting from zero is not fun. And remember, we've only had to start from zero with like a brand new set a couple times, plus the server reset, which was really starting at zero. And oh, that was bad. So if they just said, here's MH1, have fun opening 50 packs before you can build anything you want, or have fun burning every wild card you own just to build one deck, it would be expensive. So once again, there's a way around that. I mean, there's a way around all of this. Hold it for free. Just say, here, it's a 2-week-long event. You can draft it all you want, play for free, and get some stupid card style or like 100 coins or something as a reward. You know, it's just a fun event. You know, it's not supposed to be competitive. It's not supposed to be the big grind, none of that. It's just, we're throwing it in, here, do it. Well, that wouldn't have a very good return, free. I mean, what's the margin on free compared to expenses? Not very good. Okay, getting people to return to Arena, drumming up player interest, getting people to talk about it with their friends, all these intangibles. There's value to it, but honestly, probably not enough to even pay for the staff time to develop it, to be perfectly honest. So then what could they do that's in the middle? Like something where it would be self-funded, but cheap enough that people wouldn't like lose their minds over it, because Arena is fairly expensive to play if you just want to jump in and build anything. You gotta work them free coins pretty hard for a pretty long time with some pretty bad decks to get out of that rut. So they could sell for like $5 or $10 just access to the entire thing, which, I mean, that sounds nice, and be like, oh, $5 to just play MH1, all I want, build whatever I want, I get the entire card pool, I basically just buy the entire set for $5 or $10. The problem is, that's not how Arena works. They'd be saying, oh, look how much better it would be if this was the model, you know, if they just did like World of Warcraft, where you pay per month, and then you get unlimited everything, access to everything. Or like Netflix, you know, it's just, you just pay whatever, $8 a month. Price is about to increase, by the way. That pisses me off. And you get all you want. You could use whatever you want, however much you want, how many hours, everything in there. All the content is yours. So people would be thinking at the end of the like MH1 event or like the month-long thing or whatever they would do, 6 months, I don't know. Wow, it really is expensive to play Standard. One, maybe I'll stop playing Standard and I'll just pay $5 every once in a while to do the special little side set. Or two, I just can't tolerate the fact that Arena isn't like this for Standard. And they would just be like, I've seen it one way, I've seen it another way. Oh my gosh, is that cheaper? I just can no longer mentally wrap my head around spending that much money on Standard, and they'll just stop playing Arena when the MH1 event terminates. So selling like a battle pass, like an access pass, unlimited, whatever, for like a time duration, or just having it be like paid DLC, like an add-on, an expansion, where you drop 10, boom, you've got MH1, period. By comparison, you can't deny it would make Standard look really bad, and with human psychology, once you've had it cheaper and then you gotta go back, like you've had it better and then you gotta go back to worse, it's worse than if you hadn't done it in the first place. And that would drive away customers, so I don't think it would work. So what if they like charge like $25 to access it? Well, then people would be saying, this is stupid. It's a one-time fee, and then when you guys pull it from the game, which they would have to eventually, otherwise it would fragment, 10 years from now where there's 100 different formats. So when you pull it, I get nothing. I get no wild cards, nothing, unless they let you like earn them. But then it's like, well, then you're paying up front to get unlimited, and then you don't need the wild cards, but you do because the event's gonna go away, and it just gets weird. But in all likelihood, you would just have absolutely nothing to show for it. Well, except for all the free access and the time, but like I said, when they revoke that, you're left holding nothing. But then again, that kind of happens when Standard rotates, although if you didn't hear, Arena is rolling out something called Standard Plus, which is basically just Frontier. It's just starting at one point, it's then onward, and it's like the new Modern, basically. So they're going to call it Standard Plus, and it'll just include the cards from before the rotation, and that's it. Well, and all the new cards, obviously. And it is going to be broken as hell. They're going to mismanage it. Nobody's going to play it. But they want people to have perceived value where they're like, oh man, I dumped $200 into it. Now it's rotating and I lost all my money. Because remember, if you do that in paper, you hold all your stuff until it rotates. Like afterwards, you're going to get not much money for them, but you'll at least get some money on a buy list for your cards. On Arena, you can't trade anything, you don't own anything, and yeah, it's cheaper per pack, but still, when you rotate, you lose everything, and they knew people couldn't handle the psychology of that, so they would lose probably 1 million players every rotation, so they just decided, screw it, we're going to have this thing called Standard Plus. It's going to be a mismanaged disaster, like I said, but they're gonna do it. It might be fun, but it's just gonna be overpowered broken crap. Just take the top tier right now, and then add like more control or more red rush to it. That's literally all it'll be, and the mill will take over because you get all the best mill decks from everything. I mean, you guys know how it works. I mean, it took Brawl, what, 3 weeks to just get broken, solved, and unplayable? And then it took them like 2 months to ban a card, and then everybody was done playing it because they reacted too slowly. Yeah, that's Standard Plus. But the second reason I'm bringing up Standard Plus is because they could have Standard Plus permanently include Modern Horizons 1. But then it's like, in order to play the format at all, you'd have to buy it, unless by sheer coincidence, none of the cards in the deck that you want to buy are from that set. But yeah, it could just be the mixed up everything we've ever released, who cares, just jumbled format, you know, just absolute chaos, which might be fun, probably not. Probably just overpowered, unregulated garbage like Modern, except with them giving less of a crap about making it fair or banning things on time. But then you could get permanent value out of it. So they could run like a 1 month long event, and then after that, just dump it into the dump pile, the dump format, which would be Standard Plus. Then you got to pay up front, but it's cheap, and then you play it, and then after that, you still get value out of it. So it would be the perfect solution. It's just, I don't think that even that people would go for. I don't think people would get out their credit card and be like, yeah, let's do it. I just needed to spend more on top of Standard on Arena. Now, don't get me wrong, some people would. I'm sure some of you are typing right now, I would. But not everyone and not enough people. So the set being probably, I'd say bare minimum 10 times more difficult to implement and test with the card logic and the keywords than a typical standard set, which only has a handful of new keywords. Then mix in, not everybody will buy it. Then mix in, it has to be cheaper than standard. Everything's going to the point of this isn't profitable. It's all pointing that direction, and that's why they won't do it, and it's also why they shouldn't do it. I do agree that it would be very fun to take Arena and draft Modern Horizons in it for like a week. You know, paid, free, otherwise ignore all the financial, everything. To just do it, yeah, I would love to do it. But, I mean, I'm still one of those people that's not like, well, Arena's out, bye, everybody at every LGS ever. Everybody knows events like Friday Night Magic, pre-releases, any other events your LGS holds, it's way more fun. I mean, you got usually snacks and other people, and you're telling jokes and you're trading cards, and the biggest thing is if you do an event with Modern Horizons, like you do like a pre-release thing or a draft or whatever, you get to keep the cards, you can trade them and sell them. Hell, you can make a profit. Your chances of making a profit on Arena are, sorry to tell you, 0%. So yeah, it's slightly more effort and less convenient, but it's more fun, it's a better value, it's just better. It's just overall better to go play a paper event, and I would recommend everybody do that. Not everything has to be on Arena, and not everything should be on Arena. So at the end of the day, I think the verdict is, yes, it would be fun, you're right. Would I like to do it? Yes, but is it a good idea? Would they do it, and should they do it? Across the board, no. But if this is the first you're hearing about Standard Plus, I mean, you might get excited about that. Like, hey, yeah, retained value. All my decks are still in one piece and playable. I can continue to upgrade them if I really like the deck, and it's all on Arena. So, you know, there you go. At least you got that going for you. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my Teespring store after yesterday's awesome shirt-related video. And also, I got a second opinion on some medical issues that have been ongoing for a while, and it's worse than I thought. But also, there's like a better treatment, so it's like good news and bad news. And also, I just had a very severe medical issue corrected, and it was only $750, but that's a lot to me. So if you want to help me out, you know, I make quite a bit on the shirts, but a lot of you are like, oh man, I wish I could get a shirt, but I'm broke as hell. You know, I got no money, I got bills piling up. Yeah, don't worry about it, bro. Worry about you before you worry about me, you know? I always tell people that, a lot of YouTubers say that, like, don't feel like, oh, everybody's pressuring me into supporting on Patreon or buying merch or this, and I'm not a true fan if I'm not, because I'm not contributing, I'm a freeloader. Like, don't fall for that psychological manipulation crap. I think all the most honest ones will tell you, nah, bro, get your finances straight. Don't worry about other people till you got yourself covered, you know? That's why it's called, like, expendable money, or that's not the term. I can't think of what the hell is it. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, despite the fact that I completely forgot to turn off my air conditioner. Rumble, 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 rumble. That must have been annoying. So thanks for tolerating that, and I'll see you guys next video.